What is going on, guys? Ryan from Livin here, and today's video we are here at Palm Beach Trailers to talk to you guys about boat trailer maintenance. Whether you guys are driving just down the road to the ramp or a cross-country road trip with your boat, it's always important to make sure that the thing cradling your precious cargo, aka your boat, is in good standing and is going to make it there safe and sound. In today's video, we're going to be covering everything from the tires and the bearings all the way to the trailer lights and the coupler. So make sure you guys stay tuned for the entire video. That way you guys know everything you need to know about boat trailer maintenance. Alright guys, so my first tip for you is going to be the simplest out of everything, and it's going to be really easy to do. It's just simply to take a walk around your trailer and take a look at all the components of it and just look for anything abnormal. You'd be really surprised how many problems you can actually fix just by taking a 5-second walk around your trailer and looking for anything abnormal. When taking a walk around your trailer, guys, just take a wrench and just check some of the nuts and bolts and make sure that nothing's obviously loose, because that's something you can really easily fix that could cause a major problem when you guys are already on the road. And when checking your bolts, guys, don't forget to check your winch stand bolts, because that you certainly don't want coming loose. Alright, so here we have the tires. And the tires are so important, guys. And why, you might ask? Well, because they are actually what allows you to roll down the road. So you want to make sure before every trip you take that you thoroughly inspect your tires. I'm going to show you guys exactly what to look out for. So the first thing you guys are going to want to inspect when it comes to your tires is the wear on your tires. And by this, I mean how the tread on the tires is wearing when you guys drive it down the road. So if it looks something like this, that's a good sign. That means you have even wear. That means that everything's aligned properly and it's rolling right and you're doing everything right with your trailer. But if your wear looks something like this, that means you have uneven wear on your tires, which could be caused by an alignment issue or rubbing issue or something along those lines. And that's something that you definitely want to get resolved as soon as possible. So while we're over here looking at the wear of the tires, you guys should make sure to check the tread of your tires. The tread of the tires is this right here. You guys are seeing right here. This is what allows your tires to have grip on the road, and eventually when you're driving down the road it burns down the rubber, and eventually you'll have to change out your tires and they'll become bald. They'll look something like this. That's a sign that you guys need new tires. Your tires should look something like these tires because these are brand new tires. So as a general rule of thumb, you should have about 1/16 of an inch left of tread on your tires before they need to be replaced. But honestly, with boat trailer tires, you might have to worry about dry rotting and other issues, which we'll get into in a couple minutes before you run your tread that low. But like I just mentioned a minute ago, when you guys are using your boat trailer tires, a lot of times if you don't use your trailer all the time, they sit out in the sun and the elements and stuff like that. Other problems like dry rot can arise before you guys wear out your tires to that amount of tread. Now as your tires get older, you guys want to look out for dry rot. Dry rot looks something like this. So you guys want to watch out for this as your tires get older. And dry rot's caused by the sun just beating down on your tires and drying out the rubber and making it crack. It's caused by the climate that you're in and the sun, and just is not good for your tires and can lead to a blowout. If your trailer experiences long periods of inactivity, you guys should definitely be inspecting for dry rot. Now don't leave your tires just yet, guys, because we're not done with them. You guys are going to want to check the PSI of your tires to make sure that the tire pressure is adequate for your boat and what you guys are trailering. In order to do this, you're just going to unscrew this cap right here and insert your tire pressure gauge, which looks something like this. And then you're just going to want to check the tire pressure. And for the correct PSI for your tires and your situation, you guys should check your manufacturer and find out the details there. Making sure that you guys have the right tire pressure is really important because it'll ensure that you guys have a nice smooth ride when you guys are trailing your boat down the street. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is check the bearings on this tires. And you guys might be thinking, Ryan, I have no idea how to check if the bearings are good. Well, that's okay, because I got you guys. So if you guys don't want to pull off the tire to check the bearings, then you guys can simply jack up the back of the trailer and spin the tires freely, which is what I'm going to be showing you guys today. Okay, so we're currently here at the back of the trailer getting ready to jack it up so we can lift up the wheels. So I got my 2 jack stands. I got one over there, and I got the car jack right in the middle. So I'm going to jack the car jack up here, right in the middle, just like that. And you guys see how the back of the trailer is now starting to lift. I'm going to keep lifting it up. So as you guys can see, it appears we have both wheels off the ground. So what I'm going to do is come over to the jack stands, raise them up so that they're ready for the trailer to sit down on the jack stands, because you do not want to leave, while you're working on the trailer, you do not want to leave the car jack the only thing supporting up the trailer. Got the second jack stand up and ready. And we're going to slowly lower the car jack so that the trailer sits on the stands. Okay, there we go. Now it's fully supporting. So what I like to do, even though I'm supporting with these, I like to leave this car jack just tight, just so it has a little bit extra support just in case something happens. It's got 3 things holding up instead of just the 2 car jack stands. All right, and just like that, we have both tires off the ground, and we can check to see if our bearings are good. All right, guys, and to see if your bearings are good, you're gonna simply come over to your tire now that it's jacked up and just give it a spin. See how smoothly that spun? It just keeps going. Let me show you guys. Nice smooth spin. That means the bearings are doing a good job. You also want to listen out for any funky sounds, anything grinding, or anything just, if it's skipping a beat a little bit, it seems like it's getting stuck in one spot, then your bearings might not be good. But this seems to be spinning perfectly, which it should be because it's a brand new trailer, so the bearings on this wheel are good. Now we can come around and do the same thing to the other side. Take this wheel, give it a spin, nice and smooth, no funky noises. These bearings are also good. Now if you guys don't want to go through that process of jacking up the trailer, maybe you have your boat on it or something like that, and you don't want to go through that whole process just to check your bearings, another way you could do it, you need 2 people to do it. Very simple, not as effective. You guys could take your trailer and simply just push it and roll it so the bearings are rolling, and have somebody standing at the back at the wheel and just making sure that everything looks right, make sure it looks like it's spinning smoothly, and most importantly when you're doing this is making sure there's no funky sounds coming from it. And like I said, it's not as effective when checking the bearings, but it will give you a little bit of an idea how they are. And while we're talking about the bearings still over here, it's never a bad idea to pop open the cap over here and slap some more marine grease in there. That way your bearings stay lubricated and keeps running smoothly. Alright guys, take a look right over here. This is the back of the hub. So what we're going to be doing is checking to see if the seals are bad. And if you guys have no idea what I'm talking about, it's completely okay. I didn't know what I was talking about either. So what we're going to do is right here, this is the seal for the bearing. This is what keeps the grease inside with the bearing. Now if your seal is bad, there's going to be grease all up in this area. I'll put a picture on the screen of what a blown grease bearing seal looks like. Now if you do have grease in this area, it means that your seal is bad and it's time soon to replace that seal. That way the grease stops coming out and stays inside with the bearing. If there's no grease coming out, just like it is on this trailer, because again this is a brand new trailer, then you guys are good to go. Alright, one more thing with the tires guys, and I promise we can move on to the rest of the trailer. But before we get into the last thing, if you guys are finding this video helpful so far, please consider hitting that like button and subscribing down below. It really helps me out a lot and allows me to keep making videos just like this to help you guys out. Alright, so the last thing we're going to be checking with the tires here, and it's a really important one, I'm going to tell you guys why in just a second, but we're going to be checking the lug nuts to make sure that they are tight. So we're going to take our impact like we have here and go around and make sure every single one's tight. You guys want to make sure that your lug nuts are tight, because a little personal story here. We were trailering our boat from our house to the ramp to put our boat in the water for the season, and we got to the ramp to find out that our lug nuts were actually loose by hand. I mean, you can loosen them up by hand. It was kind of scary to be honest, but it wasn't too far a ride. It was only about 25 minutes, but still, it was something that we should have checked before we left. Don't really know how that happened, but you guys want to make sure that you tighten up your lug nuts before you leave for your trip. Alright, so we're finally getting away from those tires, and now we're going to be talking about trailer lights. We've personally had some very strange experiences with trailer lights, as it seems that they can be working perfectly fine when you leave, and then you hit a bump in the road and all the lights go out and don't want to work anymore again. They're tough because they do get submersed inside of salt water constantly, but it's best to buy LEDs like these have and good quality lights, because if you buy junk lights from like Harbor Freight or something like that, they're just not going to last. They'll probably last 1 or 2 times in the salt water, and then they're just not going to be good anymore. And a little pro tip for you guys: when you guys are connecting this to your car, it sometimes is a little difficult to make this connection. See, like this is brand new, and it's really difficult to put on the connection. So try throwing a little bit of dielectric grease on here and here. Try throwing some on. It'll make it very easy to make these connections, and the dielectric grease will also help resist saltwater corrosion on these terminals. So overall, it just helps with everything. So the lights on your trailer are super important because they allow the people behind you to see that when you're braking and you're signaling and can avoid accidents. Plus, it's the law. You have to have lights on your trailer. So make sure they're working before you guys leave your house. All right, so the next thing is we're going to want to be checking is our brakes. Now, I know a lot of you guys might not have trailers that have brakes, just like this small little single axle trailer doesn't have brakes. So we're actually going to go inside and look at a brake actuator so I can show you guys how to maintain it. So right here we have the brake actuator, which replaces the coupler on a trailer when you have a braking system on your trailer. So what you're going to want to do is check the fluid level of your brakes. So you're going to take this cap in the back, you're going to unscrew it open, just like so, just like that. And then we look on inside, and it is currently empty. That is because this is a brand new actuator and hasn't been used yet, so it has no brake fluid in it. But you would want to make sure that that is full of brake fluid, that way the brake lines have an adequate amount of fluid in them. While we're up here in the front of the trailer, let's take a look at your hitch. So this one's detached for demonstrational purposes, of course, but it's actually not a bad idea to throw some grease on the hitch. Now, before you go putting grease on your hitch, there is a specific kind of grease that is made for hitch balls. I'll throw it up on the screen. Make sure that you guys use that and only that kind of grease to grease your hitch. It just makes it a little bit easier when you're putting it inside the coupler and you're clamping it down. It's a little bit easier for it to get in and out if you have a hard time clamping on your trailer. This really only pertains to used and older trailers and hitches. They might have a hard time going in and out. New trailers and new hitches like this one will generally have a much easier time connecting. Alright guys, that's going to wrap it up for this trailer maintenance video. I hope you guys found this helpful and learned a couple things about trailer maintenance. I know I learned a couple things when I'm creating this video and doing the research for it. So if you guys did like it, make sure you hit the like button and consider subscribing down below. It really helps me out a lot, guys. And if you like this kind of video, make sure you check out this video on the left side of the screen where I reviewed some boat box products, which is a marine boat soap and other kind of boat cleaning products. You guys should totally check out that video. It was awesome. And until my next video, remember to keep living salty.